Hello and welcome to Anime Collector. This video is the third part of a three-part summary recap of the anime series Monster Musume. If you haven't seen the previous parts, click on the I button, and spoilers are coming for the rest of the audience. The episode begins with Kurusu having a rendezvous with the show's sole human girl, Miss Smith. While tailing him, the monster girls are angry when they see Kurusu and Miss Smith seated in a maid's coffee cafe. To overhear their conversation more clearly, Centauria suggests sending Mero inside, donning her as one of the maids with the help of Sue. After entering the cafe, Mero walks straight to Kurusu and Miss Smith. Thankfully for Mero, Sue's disguise skills lead Kurusu to miss her. Mero's plan appears to be going well until she spills some drinks on her well-crafted breast, prompting Sue to lick her when she tries to eavesdrop on the newly formed couple. The couple leaves the cafe, and the staff is perplexed by Mero's sensual moans incurred by Sue's licks. Then the couple proceeds to a game arcade, yet again, tailed by the monster girls. They employ Poppy to spy on them this time, disguised as a cosplay girl with human hands and a large chest, again thanks to Sue's abilities. The plot fails once more when Poppy's phone lands in her chest and then in her underwear. Unaware of human society, she lewdly reaches for the phone, garnering the attention of a slew of perverts. Similarly, when Maya and Centauria pose as servers on an abandoned ice cream truck, things go lewdly wrong again. Finally, Maya alone chases Kurusu and Ms. Smith to a love hotel. There she is met by Ragnara, who has been tracking them the entire time. Ragnara tries to sneak into the room where the couple is, but is stopped by Maya. Their noise at the window prompts the MON squad, Ms. Smith's team, to grab them. Once in the room, Miss Smith reveals that Kurusu had received a threatening letter signed D, and that their rendezvous was actually a ruse to draw the perpetrator out. As their plan has failed, Ms. Smith requests that all the girls go on dates with Kurusu. Kurusu is assigned Maya as his first date, and he goes out with her while also bringing Mero. They visit a nearby aquarium, where Mero is treated like royalty. Maya and Kurusu enjoy themselves, and Mero ruins the moment as they are ready to kiss at one point. Then she goes on playing with the dolphins, and Kurusu gets awestruck by her sight. Maya senses this and storms away from Kurusu, only to run into a reptilian liminal, a dragonoot named Draco. Draco laments the cold indoors and takes Maya out on the boat to sunbathe. He tries to sexually attack Maya after being irritated by her constant praise for Kurusu. Kurusu comes just in time and saves Maya with the mysterious help of Mero. They swim off the lakeside, and Maya thanks Kurusu for being there for her. Suddenly, Draco arrives. He tries to appear menacing but ends up sneezing because of a cold. Kurusu unbuttons his shirt, only to discover that Draco is a girl. Miss Smith arrives and warns Draco from going out without her host family. She also learns that Draco did not send that mysterious letter. Next up, Kurusu goes on the second date with Poppy and Sue to a woodland area, but it's more like an outdoor barbecue party. The woodland area turns out to be a dump for a lot of industrial waste. Zambina joins them as a bodyguard, but she appears to be more interested in gobbling the delicious steak. Suddenly, a gigantic tree-like creature strikes them, trampling Zambina into the ground, tossing Sue into the industrial dumps, and grabbing Poppy and Kurusu. As the dryad reveals herself through the tree, Sue recognizes her as Lee. It turns out that Sue planted Lee in the woodland area after the humans left her. Lee shows her disdain towards humans. Then, she throws Kurusu and Poppy, and they land on the massive breast of a huge Sue, which is now filled with industrial dumps. While Sue fights Lee, she orders Kurusu to suck out the industrial dumps that have caused Lee to become massive and maniacal. Kurusu does this by sucking her breast, and Lee is turned into the size of Poppy. Soon, Miss Smith arrives and questions Lee. Again, she finds that Lee is not the letter sender because she cannot write. Kurusu begs Miss Smith not to arrest her, and she, too, has no such plans. Instead, she lets Lee stay in the forest and gives her orders to clean up the dumps. Kurusu's third date is with Centauria, who has arrived in full armor. Manako keeps an eye on them from afar to spot the perpetrator. Meanwhile, she is accosted by Lilith, a little witch who seems to be a child but is actually an adult who enjoys playing gags on others. She terrifies Manako and then goes on to tease Centauria, who is upset because Ragnara reveals that her culinary abilities are terrible. She feels useless to her master, and suddenly Lilith comes and hypnotizes her. Following that, a hypnotized Centauria becomes Randy and tries to seduce Kurusu, only to be stopped by a boar attack on Lilith. Kurusu blindsides the boar with his shirt, and Centauria subdues it with her skills. After this, Kurusu tells a saddened Centauria that she is helpful to him, making her gain back confidence. She then takes responsibility for cooking the salad for the household while, on the other hand, Ragnar captures Lilith, but she is also not the letter sender. After the MON group receives another death letter from D, this one written poetically, they decide to take matters into their own hands by setting up dates with Kurusu for all of them on the same day. However, Doppel shows no interest at all. First, Tianixia goes on a date and drags Kurusu to several stores, almost killing him. They visit one boutique where even the largest size is too tiny for her. After a lewd session to try to fit her clothes, Kurusu tells her that he can effectively modify regular clothing to fit monsters, given that he has done it a lot with Maya's attire. Tianixia is impressed by his generosity. Next, Zambina pulls Kurusu out to watch a zombie movie. Later, when her hand drops off, and he uses his sewing skills to reconnect it, she is pleased by his regard for her as an ordinary girl rather than a monster. But then she teases him by deliberately detaching a breast and getting him to sew it back on. The last date is with Monako, who is very self-conscious about being a one-eyed monster. But she gets flustered when Kurusu looks straight in her eye, something that humans avoid. The date is cut short when Monako spots a shady person trailing them, and the three MON ladies band together to catch the stalker, who is actually D but is revealed to be Doppel. She tells them that she and Miss Smith plotted this to drive Kurusu to choose a bride. On his way home, a strange girl presses a scythe against Kurusu's throat. He finds out that the second letter was sent by someone else. Later that evening, the girls are startled when Kurusu returns home with a headless girl, which freaks Maya out. Kurusu decides to go out and search for her head. Maya grudgingly chooses to join him after Centauria, Poppy, and Marrow agree. They visit a nearby park, where Maya first notices a mannequin head and then the real head. Kurusu approaches, and the head begins speaking, admitting that she sent the second letter. She also wants him to restore her head to her body. The chat is cut short by the nervous police officer, who flips out when he sees Kurusu clutching the head. The group escapes with the head thanks to some unplanned and inadvertent help from Poppy. After the girl's body and head are rejoined, she reveals herself as Dullahan, the Death Incarnate. She adds that she has come to take Kurusu, who is said to be dying. When the girls hear this, Poppy instantly flies Kurusu away to save his life, but as usual, she injures him. Similarly, Centauria rides him away but slams him while Marrow nearly drowns him. Then, Maya steps in and scoops Kurusu out of the water, unconscious. Soon, Ragnar arrives with Dullahan, saying that if she really is a Grim Reaper, there is no way Kurusu can run from death. Maya gets emotional after hearing this and prefers to die with him. Meanwhile, Kurusu regains consciousness and storms back home, embracing death, but surprisingly, nothing happens. Dullahan, it turns out, is merely a braggart who likes to say things. Also, Miss Smith chides her for fleeing her host family, and she eventually decides to reside in only one house, Kurusu's house. Miss Smith reveals that her real name is Lala, and she's not the Grim Reaper. But the most exciting part is that Kurusu already guessed it when he sensed Lala had the 8th grade syndrome, which is just a fancy word for delusional grandiosity. The next day, Kurusu finds himself in a financial pickle because of the increasing number of guests. He then goes grocery shopping with the girls, and the monster girls' sympathy with the local sellers nets them a lot of food at a bargain. As the other girls return home with food, Kurusu and Sue go to Ki to collect some more veggies. Thanks to Poppy, Ki is more than happy to help them, and she leads them to an area with edible plants, where Kurusu sees that Sue can tell the difference between edible and dangerous plants just by tasting them. On their route home, they cross paths with Draco, who attempts to attack Kurusu but is thwarted by Poppy's poisonous puking. Once home, Kurusu makes exquisite meals for the girls, which they devour to the fullest. Kurusu shows his thanks to Sue and stores some food in the fridge. However, Miss Smith bursts into the house with her MON group to sweep out the food on the table and in the fridge. After dinner, Miss Smith talks to a frustrated Kurusu as Sue spills the beans about his financial position. Miss Smith reveals that the interspecies program covers all the monster girls' expenses. Kurusu gets enraged and asks why she didn't inform him before, to which she just replies, "I forgot," much like Miss Smith. The season ends there. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, Please subscribe to our channel to get more of such content. See you in the next video.